Without an embassy in the United States, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is represented here through its mission to the United Nations. Housed inconspicuously in this building in Midtown East, it's known as the New York Channel, for decades serving as the only official back channel through which Washington and Pyongyang communicate.
The State Department has, until recently, had a point person on North Korea, who is basically the lead in terms of managing that, a special representative. And that individual communicates directly with the North Korean mission here in New York.
That individual was former U.S. envoy Joseph Yun, who worked with DPRK diplomat Park Song-il on Otto Warmbier's return to the U.S. last summer. Now, this was also the place where some of the negotiations for the recent release of 3 Korean Americans took place.
And this is where messages about plans for the summit between Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump were said to have gone through. But what about U.S. representation in the DPRK? The Scandinavian nation of Sweden represents U.S. interests there.
The U.S. has an interest section in Pyongyang through the Swedish embassy there. Other American allies and friends have embassies in Pyongyang, even though the United States does not.
A third point of contact is the demilitarized zone that separates the two Koreas, which largely serves as a communications channel for operational matters.
It's strategic and operational, but it's mainly to communicate senior level command concerns and cautionaries, warnings, and assurances to the North Koreans. For example, in anticipation of U.S. ROK exercises.
So even in the absence of formal diplomatic relations, there have been ways for the U.S. and the DPRK to communicate indirectly. The question now is if and how Washington and Pyongyang would use these channels to negotiate a resumption of denuclearization talks. Li Lingtan, CGTN, New York.